Hello, welcome to this new format of Backlogged. I clearly didn't get the memo about the camera thing. Actually, I did. I was only put together. I was just haven't figured out a way for my setup. Um, if you want to kick us off with what this is.
Hi. Backlog is now our kind of podcast way of unwinding at the end of our week.
In,
Currently it is Monday.
in other words,
Monday, April
we had
14th.
we had a midlife crisis, and we said to each other, "Yo, we should start a podcast."
We start a podcast.
That's how you do
And
it,
after
man.
like a full week of us doing shenanigans, we decided what better way to start than today. Today, April 14th?
It's the Monday before this is coming out. Just to say that.
Yeah. So we're gonna record this episode, these videos. We're gonna record them on Mondays to be readily available for you guys on Tuesdays,
The
because
fuck?
our
That was
geeky week,
that was news to me.
or Wednesdays.
Well,
When are these coming out?
that was a great question.
Maybe-
It'll come out when it comes out. There we
Got
go,
it,
guys.
got it. Let's skip that on the. Let's put that in the back pocket for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the producer of the series, as you can obviously tell.
My bad.
Finally ordered the machine here. We'll get to it. When we get
Well-oiled
to it.
machine. We're over here at Comic Book Shatter. So let's kick this off by talking about the shows that we watched last week. So Robert,
I only really watched one show consistently, and it's the new Daredevil show, Fire Show.
Lalo's been watching 3 shows.
I can't believe we're obviously recording this just before the final episode comes out of the season.
It comes out tomorrow. Actually, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Um,
That cliffhanger was
what are your
pissing me off.
thoughts?
Though. This cliffhanger has me at the edge of my seat. I do like how they kind of played. I didn't really realize it until everyone else was talking about it, because your boy's busy. I don't have time to look into deep meanings of comic book shows. The entire fact that, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the show, Jen's looking.
Yeah. This will contain spoilers for like this will contain spoilers for all the media that we've been consuming this
Oh,
week.
I see. So this show's actually just spoil everything for Jens.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially, Jen, I'm sorry, you're the one that's less caught up with shit, and we are the ones that are constantly like watching shit.
I'm down for it. Hey, I actually kind of enjoy when people spoil stuff because it's like,
So-
if you do it right, it's just as entertaining as watching it, you know? So.
I enjoyed the
We're
fact.
one episode left.
Well, I enjoyed the fact that
We're
they
one
played.
episode left on
Lalo,
Daredevil.
shut up.
Shut up.
I enjoyed the fact that, again, spoiler alert, that they played into the entire enemy. The good man protects his enemy. Part with them bringing back Point Dexter into this episode, and obviously, Point Dex is not Daredevil's enemy. It's Fisk. It's always been Fisk. It's even been like Fisk's. Not even It's not even Daredevil's main enemy. It's Matthew's main enemy throughout this entire season. It's not.
For those who
been-
don't know, Big Kingpin was a Spider-Man villain first.
Shut up! No one cares about that fact. But I enjoyed the fact that they've kept this consistent through line of, it's not Daredevil fighting Fisk. It's Matt.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed. So this episode had about a little bit of everything. We slowly start finding out that in reality, Fisk accidentally broke the deal between Matt and him by having inadvertently his wife aiming for or actually sending a kill against Foggy Nelson.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert: Jen's Foggy Nelson dies in the show.
Oh, no, I don't even know who Foggy is, so it's okay.
How do you not know who Foggy is? Hold up, what?
That was
Oh,
a hold on.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, you did not watch any of Daredevil prior to this, and
Okay,
we
yeah.
don't usually talk about Daredevil as much around him, so I kind of get it.
Yeah, I know he's blind, and I know he
That's-
fights crime with beating people up, and he can
Yeah.
hear really well.
He knows the Asian beast. The C and the rest of the alphabet is all fucking gone off of his brain.
Yeah, I can still
But
spell
I-
cab, ab, ac,
An A cab. Wait,
A.
I mean,
I
you're
really
not
felt
wrong.
bad.
But you know you can't because the C's gone.
You're right. You're right. Um. So okay. So throughout this episode, we start learning more about what happened with Foggy and why did they decide to kill him?
Matt
Why
pulls
did they?
Matt pulls a Batman and starts being detective shit.
And I find it really interesting that even though yes, Bullseye is in the overall arch, he is the one who pulled the trigger. He is the one who killed Foggy. In reality, it wasn't just him. And from the beginning, he was working for someone, and that someone is, again, spoilers, it was what's her name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa Fisk. Vanessa
Vanessa.
Fisk. It was Vanessa.
Leave Vanessa out of
Yeah,
this.
the material girl killed Foggy.
I also do like the fact that even, like, I know obviously this is probably more because of the rewrites and reshoots, but they were always kind of hitting that fact that point text wasn't a big factor into this. It was Vanessa and Kingpin. Mainly Vanessa, because in this season they were mainly focusing on Vanessa being the new Kingpin of New York, since now
Yeah. Which is why I mentioned inadvertently that they broke the deal, but not in the way that Fisk is culpable for it.
Or
Fisk is still like...
Does Vanessa technically know that there's a deal between Matt and...
Yeah, no, she straight up was there. She was there in season 3.
Shows how much I remember that episode.
Yeah, it was she was when she found out that she knows that Matthew's Daredevil. She knows about the deal because she was right there hugging her husband while Matthew was telling him, "You will stay. I won't go after your wife if you don't hurt Karen Page or Foggy Nelson." That was the deal.
Clearly, the deal didn't work out very well.
It didn't work out very well because Karen is in California? Hell's Kitchen? Somewhere in this fucking universe. Doesn't fucking matter anymore. She left. She fucked off and said bye.
Bang, bangity bang.
But I am really excited to find out how we're gonna end this, wrap up this entire season. Based on what I've seen of the filming of Daredevil season 2, I'm curious how we get there.
I'm really excited now that they're going into this next season with a lot more of this. Now, obviously, they had to work with what was already shot for the most part for this season, but
absolutely.
They had to fix the tone. They fixed the tone at least where it was watchable. I'm really excited where they're going to take now that they have a blank slate for season 2, so they can kind of continue the story. Plus, also, it's not going.
I'm also really excited.
It's not going to take 5 years.
I'm also really excited to see.
To take another.
It's not going to take 7 years.
It's not going to take 7 years. All in Stranger Things case, what, another fucking 3?
Well, back during the Daredevil Netflix years, it wasn't that much of a wait either.
It wasn't.
It was like every 2 years. Every year we got a new season for a show.
Well, the big thing though is because that was ABC Studios, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
it was ABC Studios along with Netflix.
They were
along with ABC.
They were licensing it to Netflix, so ABC had that machine churning.
Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right.
It's time to bring back ABC Studios, babies.
No, because that would involve rescheduling everything again, like back when Marvel Television got killed off, and all these shows got killed off slowly. I don't want to go through that shit again.
Lalo still has trauma from that era.
Well, it was literally like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got canceled. Jessica Jones got canceled. Punisher got canceled. Punisher was the first one to bite the bullet.
Why did Jessica Jones bite the bullet? How long? Why did it take Punisher?
They already had a season 3 for Jessica Jones, which I still haven't seen, by the way. I should get on that.
Why did they execute the Punisher? The Punisher's much better than Jessica Jones.
Because at that time Disney was already canceling Marvel shows over at ABC, right? They were canceling Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Humans. They were the other spinoff that they had. I don't remember what it was called. Cloak and Dagger. It was Cloak and Dagger. They had already canceled those shows, right? And then suddenly it asked Netflix, "Hey, the license is up, right? And we are basically creating, we are rebranding everything, putting up in Disney Plus." They had announced that Disney Plus was gonna come out, and Netflix just said, "Oh,
What's
you're
the point?
competing against us now? Well,
what's the
fuck
point?
you!" And canceled Luke Cage, then canceled Jessica Jones. No, they canceled Iron Fist. Finally canceled Punisher. Then Jessica Jones, and lastly Daredevil. Daredevil was the last show to put out new content. And by that time, Lalo was just upset because he had heard that I have heard that Jessica Jones was canceled, so I didn't watch season 3. And I was kind of still hopeful that Daredevil would get a season 4. And I watched Daredevil season 3 also because I loved Daredevil so much back then. And after Jessica Jones was canceled, I watched Daredevil. Watched Daredevil get canceled, and I was upset.
Then Lalo sat in content purgatory for at least what 6 years until No Way Home came out.
Until no, it was Far From Home.
Oh, Far From Home did have
It was
Daredevil,
Far
yeah.
From Home.
Far
Far
From
From
Home.
Home. It
No
was
Way
in
Home.
19.
No, it was
No Way Home.
No Way Home with Daredevil.
No,
Wait, does he?
it
need
was
to
Daredevil.
appease?
Then No Way Home. It was Daredevil. Then Infinity War came out. Then no, it was Infinity War. Then Daredevil got canceled. Then no Endgame happened. Then No Way Home.
I'm trying to
I
say
mean,
how many
Far From
years?
Home.
How many years
That was 2 years.
from Daredevil season 3 to No Way Home?
Yeah. From No Way Home, that was 4.
So Lalo sat in
2018,
content.
19, 2021. 4 years.
So Lalo sat in content purgatory for 4 years, waiting for
Correct.
any Daredevil content. Then waited another 2 years for Matthew to appear in She-Hulk.
He showed up in She-Hulk, yeah.
I was getting to that. That was in 2022, 2023, wasn't it? 2023.
That was 2020, yeah. And then the Zdarsky run was on full blast by that. The Zdarsky run was on full blast by that time. It was 2020. 2019, 2020.
But overall,
Which is when I started reading Daredevil.
overall, I'm really optimistic about the franchise and where it's going.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, as much as I would have loved the legal drama, that's not Daredevil.
I don't want a legal drama. That's She-Hulk. Give it to
No.
She-Hulk. Don't give it to Daredevil.
Don't give it a She-Hulk. They don't know how to write legal drama.
That's fair.
The only good episode
Get Dan Slott on it. Get Dan Slott on
the
it.
only legal drama episode that was good was the one with Matthew Murdock, and that was just only because it was Matthew Murdock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get Dan Slott on it.
Alright, well, but yeah, generally a good series, you know, really excited to see what they bring next, especially hopefully they bring the Punisher more than just a, hey, look at this, it's a cameo from John Bothanol.
Yeah, I don't want that scene I don't want that scene at the end of season 2 of Daredevil when he just showed off in the top of the building where Daredevil's fighting the fucking ninjas and he's just going.
No. I want John Bothanol more than just that one scene in episode 6, 5.
That's what I don't want. That him fighting him shooting at ninjas is what I don't want. I want him to be more involved. I want him to be like. I want him to look at the police officers wearing the Punisher logo and going, fuck that noise.
But I hope that I also unfortunately don't think that he's gonna be utilized much more this season just because, like I said, they're operating with
There's one episode left.
That
and
they're operating with content that isn't theirs. It's someone else's though retrofitting to make it work. Really impressively. Really impressively. I'm glad.
I think it would be really cool if he plays a much bigger role in season 2.
From what I've kind of been seeing on the leaks, they're going after the Shadowland arc, which I've never read.
Yes! Hell yeah! It's gonna be Mayor Fisk. They're gonna do the Mayor Fisk run of Zdarsky's going into Devil Reign, which is what I'm excited for because they're gonna bring back. Hopefully, they bring back Jessica Jones. They bring back Iron Fist. They bring back the Punisher. They bring back Luke Cage.
They're never gonna bring back Iron Fist. No one liked that character.
Why the? That's the thing. No. Finn Jones, the guy who played Danny Rand, he's good. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. The issue with him is that they misused him poorly. Very poorly was misused. So I would be really excited to see him back.
All right,
Give
Lalo.
him the same writings that's been given enough because he was really good in Defenders. I liked him in Defenders.
Defend you? I hardly know.
Yeah, I know. You don't know her.
All right, Lalo.
Hit him with that.
What other shows would you want to talk about?
I
came
am
out this
gonna.
week?
I want to talk about The Last of Us. The Last of Us season 2 just premiered last Sunday,
Yesterday.
and oh my god, yeah, yesterday for us. So they're following up very loosely, and I say loosely because so far they have been really revealing about stuff that we shouldn't know about yet in the story. The okay. With the game, the second game of The Last of Us, which is a very controversial one. My favorite one. It's my favorite one on top of like, out of the two, I prefer The Last of Us Part 2. I will say that.
I've only played the first game. Haven't played the second game.
I love the second game more than anything. It's actually, Robert knows that game as my therapy game.
My therapy
and
game
I
is Guardians of the Galaxy. Unrated
Your
hit.
therapy game is a more understanding one. Mine is the most stressful and traumatic game in the history of the world.
So it's the equivalent of like lighting a fire, like starting a bigger fire next to a small fire to suck the oxygen out of it. Is that your approach,
So,
Lalo? I just thought
That is
about that.
that is. I am also very
Self-destructive.
self-hurting,
Self-destructive.
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 So
Load that gun up and
So-
point it right at your foot and fire the trigger, baby.
Bang, 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 bang.
play Russian roulette until the bullet is. Until the
No,
bullet is out.
no. You load a clip into an automatic weapon and fire into your foot.
But I enjoyed this episode. I will say this. Now, the thing I'm waiting for, I was hoping it would happen at the end of this episode. For those who don't know the games, the main character of the first game is killed in the second one. Joel Miller is killed at the beginning of the first 45 minutes of the game.
What? No way.
And
Ouch.
slowly, we start getting like flashbacks throughout the story of his relationship with Ellie and how it went sour or awry. But it's all background knowledge to the fact that he's already dead. Now, the death hasn't happened yet. My ongoing theory is that it was gonna happen this episode, and we didn't get to that.
What I
We
think,
got back.
what I think's gonna happen, again, haven't played the games. I think they're gonna reshuffle the narrative a little bit. I think they're gonna show how it soured, and then have that death impactful, and she starts reminiscing, starts reflecting of all that all at once to have that connection with the character.
Well, my ongoing theory is still, by the end of this season, we're gonna get, because the trailer showed you clearly that we are already in Seattle by the finale of the series. At least mid series, we're already in Seattle, which means Joel's gotta die within the first either next episode or really early episode 3, because we have 7 episodes this season. Joel hasn't died at all. So my theories.
It was kind of a missed opportunity not to have it during the Masters. It really was. We have two.
I was really scared that it was gonna be this episode. I think it would have been funny, like Robert said, because it was the golf season started. I think.
No, and in the Masters, it's a big golf tournament.
But also, I think I am. It's also something for me that is. I know it's gonna happen. I know it has to happen. I don't know if I have the strength to watch it happen.
Lalo, you're self-destructive. You have the strength to do it.
Yeah, but I know what it will do to me. Um, it's something that I was. If it was gonna happen, I would rather have it happen by the end of episode 1, so I could just get it out of the way, have the hatred start building up, have the anger build up to keep me pushing through the season.
It's
Now,
gonna.
something that they did this season in the first episode that I noticed, they took the. I was gonna. This is my only complaint about about the episode. They took the coward's way out to this to towards Abby. Now, Abby in the show in the game
Okay, yeah.
is
Took me a second who you were talking about.
Abby in the game is the girl who kills Joel in cold blood.
Hey, Paul.
They, yeah, he beats him to death with a golf club. Well, okay, but
Spoiler alert for what? A 5-year-old game?
5-year-old? Yeah, 5-year-old. Holy shit, we're old, Robert.
Oh, you're old. I'm still youthful. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a little baby still. I'm a little bean.
Jen still looks like he's still in high school.
Jen still looks like he's in high school, which is weird because he is the second oldest here.
I'm 22.
I'm 22 too.
Yeah.
I turned 22
But
in January.
No, yeah, Jens is the oldest. Jens is older than you, Robert.
I'm the baby.
Lalo, you're older than me, of course.
And I look like I'm 40. Let's go.
Wait, Robert, you're younger than me? What?
Ouch.
But Abby is. We don't find out her backstory until we switch the narrative on the game. So Abby kills Joel in the game, right?
Yes.
We go through all of Ellie's trip in Seattle, 3 days worth of trip, in order for the narrative to switch up. We have the big encounter between the two, and then the narrative switch back, and we flash back to when Allie was a kid, and we find out, again, spoilers, that her dad was the doctor that was going to operate on Ellie, and her dad was killed by Joel, which sends her down this path of vengeance, yada yada yada.
See,
Right?
I gotta say something. I think I know what they introduced so earlier in the episode, right? And kind of start building the blocks to justify the antagonist's motivations to kill Joel, because she's going to kill the biggest character in the episode, in the series.
Yeah. So
Everyone
they took what I say they took the coward's way out is we give her a reason to empathize already with her early on.
Okay.
Now the big impact of The Last of Us Part 2 is the message of the game is violence generates more violence, right? It all started with Joel back in 4 years ago when he killed the doctor and killed all the fireflies and started this whole path of vengeance. Then Abby kept it going by killing Joel again, which started a new cycle of vengeance from Ellie. And now Ellie goes on by killing all of the WLF over in Seattle, which starts another cycle of vengeance. It's an ongoing cycle of vengeance that is just stemmed from that. So I think it would have connected bigger if we knew at the time that everything was if we knew it how it played out in the games. So
Okay.
but I understand why they did it. They did it in order for us to protect Caitlin Dever, who plays Abby.
Never mind the mocap actress that got so much shit over the game.
Yeah, Laura Bailey got fucked over by the fan base of The Last of Us because of Neil Druckmann's decision of creating Abby. Unfortunately, Laura Bailey got fucked over bad. So I think it is very noble for them to protect Caitlin Dever by doing this.
Well, also
I think it was a very.
It also looks
cheap
a lot.
move.
It also looks a lot better because you're not dealing with the game. You're dealing with like a TV show narrative. You're not.
Yeah, the narrative of the game cannot go back and forth as much as it was gonna be, which is why they played it the very first episode is very linear, down to the fucking T of like they are telling us everything that happened up until the night before the story of The Last of Us sets into place, which is the morning after of the patrol that Ellie goes into, which is where the storm hits the town. They're telling it very linearly, which is also another little gripe that I had. But I know that we're gonna come back to it eventually. The night where Joel plays the guitar and talks to Ellie, where they talk about forgiving each other, that was cut short. And I know it's because they're planning to come back to it. I know that they're planning to come back to it. Now my question is when? When are we gonna come back to it? Because that is kind of the pin that wraps together the entire show.
It's going to cut right back directly after Joel gets his head smashed in.
No, I think it's gonna go back. I think it's gonna get. Here's the thing. The scene I'm talking about doesn't get revealed until the end of the game. It is actually the final scene of the second game.
So you're thinking
it's kind of like
happen at the end of the show?
I think it's gonna happen at the end of season 3 or season 4, however they're splitting this game, because I think that the developer said that it's gonna be split into several seasons. Now, whatever that means, that's what I'm afraid of.
They're seeing how much of the fucking franchise they can milk. It's already dead. Sony's milking it. HBO's milking it.
I'm more okay with HBO adapting it better.
You know what they
Not better. I love the story. I love the story with all my heart.
You know what
it's
they
one of my favorite
done
video game stories of all time, aside from the Uncharted series.
You know what they should have done for the complete collection instead of those comic books, or including the comic books?
Oh my god! Adapt the comic books?
No. They should have also included that Ellie statue that literally everyone wanted, but they'd never produced enough.
Oh yeah, that I want. One of Ellie with the guitar, please. Yes.
Yeah, they did
Give
that.
it to me. I want it.
Bethesda did the there was a special release for the Fallout 4 Pit Boys, very limited release at the game's launch, but there was such a high demand for it that when they released like multiple versions, they re-released the Pit Boy because it's a Pit Boy. It's cool.
Yeah, Robert knows what I want. I want is actually that statue of Ellie playing the guitar with her shotgun on her back.
Well, you're charging $110 for a steelbook, some comic books, and like these collectible small lithographs. Why not charge us $300 for a steelbook?
For the statue that I want.
Yeah,
that
that people actually would buy. That there's actual some collectible value to it. Now, obviously, re-releasing.
And not only that, I've seen every scalper on it going. I saw it at Bookman a couple of weeks ago, going for $500. I was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
$400, and I was like, fuck no. I love The Last of Us. I don't love The Last of Us that much, that's coming from someone who has the whole first season on 4K. Spend the extra $25 for the 4K. I spent
thumbs up.
$45 to $50 for The Last of Us Part 1 after already buying it remastered for my PS4, and I have The Last of Us Part 2 on for PS4. I've spent extra $10 for it for my PS5 remaster, and I am planning to buy the physical version of The Last of Us Part 2 remastered.
Sony's most dedicated pay big.
I have spent over $100 on The Last of Us already, and I'm planning to buy the two action figures that they put out for the PlayStation line, with made by fucking that toy company. I want the action figures that NECA made for The Last of Us Part 2, because little known fact, everyone knows this fact, The Last of Us 2 is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, you literally opened the segment with that, Lalo.
Yes. But that's all. Those are my thoughts for the oncoming season of The Last of Us. And
I'm not looking forward to it because because I will be subject to every single one of these rants, both on camera and about 20 times off
And
camera.
off camera.
They don't pay me.
But I am looking forward to seeing how they're gonna tell the story, because it's a very controversial story. And I am looking forward to see how it makes me feel throughout
Holy
the
shit.
season.
That was 2019, wasn't it? That was 6 years ago.
What? Jeez. What are you? 2019. What was 2019?
Last of Us Part 2?
Came out in 2020 during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Okay, at least I'm not as old as I thought. Okay.
That is. I am gonna move forward now to Doctor Who, if that's okay.
Don't you mean the Who Doctor?
Doctor Who season 2 for the new run came out
Well,
last Saturday.
well, if rumors are also true, it might be its last for a little while.
For a little while, if rumors are true.
Depressed
Yeah,
Lalo.
I saw the Christmas special December 25th of 2024, and I think it made me cry. I remember saying it made me cry. Just how beautiful, great opener. Christmas, for those who don't know, Christmas episodes are how we open the season. Now they're seasons. Back then in the old days, it was series.
Lalo,
Yeah.
I mean this with the most respect possible.
Anything makes me cry.
Yeah, it's easy to make you cry.
I'm a very emotional person.
Jens isn't very much a participant. What are you doing, Jens?
I'm doing this to my hair.
Jens is doing homework like a good man.
I'm not even doing homework. I'm just being silly.
God damn
You're
it!
supposed to
Why
participate.
making me look bad?
You're supposed to participate in the conversation. That's the point of the podcast.
I'm participating. I'm digesting. My eyes have to look up so much.
We're gonna quiz you. We're gonna quiz you so much. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. No, we should quit
Okay,
with
the
the
last
other-
one.
Yeah, there it is. There
see
it
how
is.
much
He
Lalo
was paying attention.
Lalo
you
spent $100.
motherfucker.
He spent $100 on The Last of Us. He's gonna spend more on a statue with guitar or something.
I
There you
want that statue so bad. Doctor Who series 2 or season 2 of the Disney era.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney owns the distributional rights for Doctor Who now. They've owned it for how long? 2024?
Have they influenced like how it's made? Like what they
2023.
put?
That was
2023. That's since November of 2023.
I remember that because that you were like artistically excited about it because don't you dare grab that Sonic. No.
He's doing it.
Lalo, I have one statement. It's impressive that even with how much autism you're exuderating, I still somehow managed to actually get myself into a relationship for a while he was obsessed with that. Like, despite his efforts, his
not just that. Okay, this new series of Doctor Who started what I like to call Lalo's greatest obsession to this day. Because I have the series, the 60th anniversary specials for Doctor Who. I bought within those months. I also bought series 1 of the classic New Who run.
Lord, does he know this
Series-
is actually woman repellent?
Series 2 to 4 of the David Tennant collection, and the Day of the Doctor season of Matt Smith's run of Doctor Who.
The Day of the Doctor.
The time that also Peter Capaldi got announced as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
While also playing the Who Doctor in World War Z.
Accidentally too. Okay. So it's little to no surprise that I was very excited of the new season coming out. I watched the Christmas special back in December. It was very, very, very beautiful episode actually. Revealed a lot about how Kirigato's Doctor is still adapting to the new bi generation. And we actually met the new companion this episode, Miss Belinda Chandra. this her name, played by I forgot the actress. I will Robert will look it up in a
The
second and
fuck
correct
you
me. I'm
mean I'm
sure.
looking it up? So this is your section.
Anyway, the episode is actually a mystery of why is this new companion so special, because little did we know that we actually met the actress a couple episodes ago, in season 1 of Doctor Who, in the still Disney era, not New Who. We met that actress. We had it planned out. We that it was gonna be someone else, and we find out that it's actually the uh Belinda Chandra is the descendant, or the she is the future version of someone in another episode. It's
What's up with Doctor Who and doing
and
that with the companions?
Mhm.
We
It's
had
time
River
travel, bro.
Song.
Really bobbly, timey wimey stuff.
We had River Song
wibbly
with the
wobbly timey
Avon.
wimey yada
Yeah,
yada yada.
yeah, but
Exactly. Lalo gets the point.
at some point it's just lazy writing.
No, well, we
Whoa.
had introduced this character. The doctor just says, "Well, you are the great 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 grandmother of this character I met before you." But what is the connection? Yeah, and that's the mystery. And also, the doctor can't. We find out at the end of the episode. The big twist is that there was a glitch in time that is forbidding him to go back to the present.
Oh,
Is
a
it time
glitch
to
in
go?
So
time? How does time glitch?
It is time to go back to the future.
it is actually,
Uh,
so the doctor calls it that because this is the first time in a while that it's the first time in a while that the companion is not doesn't want to be in the TARDIS, doesn't actually want to be involved with the
Oh,
doctor and
oh, so you're
everything.
saying that Doctor Who kidnapped someone?
Wait,
No,
so
not
the companions are
the
it's
doctor.
involuntary? Being a companion is involuntary? I thought it was you choose to be the companion.
You choose to be normally you choose to be the companion. He was kidnapped by robots in this episode and taken to a faraway planet, and the point is she wants to go home, and the doctor's like, "Yes, ma'am, I will take you home right now."
It's like a good man.
Turns levers and spins clocks and everything. Sets the TARDIS on course and then bounce off. Immediately, the TARDIS is bounced back out of time,
Out
and
of
so the
time?
doctor's like, "Okay, we'll try again." Do 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 do. Does everything. TARDIS is bounced off again of the time stream, and it's like, okay, something's going wrong.
How
So
do you get
and
bounced out of time?
Don't worry
Like,
that's
about
just
it.
like
It's
you
a TV show.
that's the mystery of the that's the mystery of why are we getting bounced off of time. So the doctor is promising Belinda that he will take her home. It'll just gonna take a little while. So the next episode is basically gonna be like this. Apparently this full season is gonna be, let's get her home.
That sounds kind of
Mhm.
and
lame.
how many and how many adventures will it take for us to get home?
How many shenanigans can we take?
How many shenanigans can we actually take on this trip? It's actually a very fun concept, because it's the very first time in my memory, at least, of watching Doctor Who, of a companion that really doesn't want to be involved in any of this.
But she's
So I think
forced
I'm very
along the ride.
excited. It's
She's
forced to be
forced.
on the ride, and has to reluctantly agree to be on the ride. So I find it very interesting. I find it very cool. It's a very good concept that I'm really excited to see how the relationship develops from this reluctant companionship that they have to be a part of.
So it's kind of really
Because
focused on the companion more than the
yeah,
doctor in this case.
it's actually very focused on. It's the first time in recent memory, from me at least, that is very focused on her experience in the TARDIS. It's, I think,
Yeah.
since Rose,
I was gonna say,
if I
yeah.
remember correctly.
It sounds like
Rose
a Rose type of
is very
storyline.
Rose Tyler or very Martha Jones kind of
Actually,
situation where
it sounds like very much
Yeah.
like Bad Rolf type storyline.
yeah. Oh, there's a really big mystery surrounding our companion that is preventing her from going home. There's something very interesting and I am very excited to see how it wraps up. The next villain is actually supposed to be like very interesting and the most scariest villain ever made in Doctor Who. It's Russell T Davies, so he says that a lot.
Sounds like I was gonna say
But,
sounds like marketing hype. Lol, you being a comic book nerd should know that.
Yeah,
You really
no, I
have
know.
that.
I am. It's Russell T Davies, so he says that a lot. Um, but I'm really excited to find out what kind of villains we get because I don't know if you noticed, and I don't know if you don't know this, Jens. Robert, you also don't know this.
Correct.
Last season we fought gods.
What?
We fought gods again since classic
Classic.
Who. Since classic Who, we fought Zutek, the god of death. That was the main villain of the season. So I'm interested how they're gonna up the ante. And I know that Shurigato wants to fight Daleks. So
Oh yeah.
Shurigato says, if I don't fight a Dalek or a Cyberman in my entire run of Doctor Who, I will be very upset. So I know that Shurigato wants to fight a Dalek. I know he wants to fight a Cyberman. I want to see if they. And according to rumors, the show might be. They haven't renewed the season. They haven't renewed. But that's the thing. Doctor Who is one of the longest running shows of all time.
See, what I don't get
Yeah.
is that Disney just spent all this money on the distribution rights for this.
Exactly. So there is I'm gonna say this. There's absolutely no way that Doctor Who will be dropped.
Okay, Lalo,
It would be the stupidest move of all time from Disney.
You're all talking about Disney here.
We are talking about Disney, but it would be the stupidest move, considering they have already a spin-off on the way that is supposed to come out later this year. It would be really stupid to drop the main show, Doctor Who. If anything, it will be just a 1-year break, which it sucks, and we haven't had one of those. We haven't had a year-long break since David Tennant's run back in 2008.
Though they honestly probably should have with Jodie Whittaker's.
Yeah, and then after Matt Smith, it was every year new Doctor Who content. Jodie Whittaker was really good.
Sometimes you gotta let content breathe, though. Like, look at our channel. We let content breathe, and we're back in the crypt. Let's go.
But I am really. I know for a fact that there's gonna be a year break for this season. Unfortunately I know it.
Like, is it like really announced, or is it just like you can feel it in your gut?
They haven't renewed the show. They haven't renewed the season.
Typically, they usually announce these things before the new season comes out to get more anticipation for it. But
The Last of Us. We talked about The Last of Us a couple of minutes ago, but again, The Last of Us season 3 was renewed. The season 3 was renewed 2, 3, 4 days before season 2 came out.
Oh, sorry about this.
And it's been 3 days since Doctor Who came out. Season 1 came out. They haven't released any numbers on the episode viewing. I'm not sure if it was. I don't know if it was high. I'm gonna check on that. I haven't seen any numbers, but I know I watched it. Myself. I watched it a couple of times because I was really excited about the episode. But I haven't heard any news that it was renewed. And I know Disney is holding on for the War of the Sea and Land that's gonna come out later this year. Which is the spin-off episode I was talking. It was the spin-off episode I was talking about earlier. It's the War on the Sea of the Sea and the Land. They're holding on information of that spin-off for now.
Which
so
they might just also axe that show as well, though.
Yeah.
If they're hesitant about the mainline show, they might just axe that, and hopefully that can keep.
Well, it's already filmed. That's the thing.
That hasn't stopped Warner Brothers, has it?
Actually, that movie's gonna come out.
What about Batgirl?
Batgirl's not gonna come out. That universe is dead.
Yeah. Well, no. Also, like that was all filmed. That was all edited.
That was all filmed and edited. Yeah, they had a final cut. But yeah, this season of Doctor Who is very exciting to me. I love Doctor Who. I'm so much so that I got into Magic the Gathering. But we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. that's
I
that's
can't
it.
escape. He
Those are my
talks.
final thoughts.
Um.
Those are my final thoughts on the scene. Actually, I still need to read this.
Oh God. This won't end, will it? Uh. See, like you guys, you might like hear this and like think I'm being mean, but when I say this man talks about it, every single waking moment, he talks about every single waking moment. I can be at work, right? I'll be doing
And
my.
I will
I will
spam. James
get.
is lucky. He doesn't get spammed
I
as
will
much as
get
Robert does.
like
Yeah.
50. There's been
Uh-huh.
times I've gotten 15 text messages from you on TikTok, Lalo.
Oh, I know.
It's a
50,
problem.
50, right?
No, 15, 1-5.
Oh, 1-5. I was
Yeah,
like, wow, 15? 50? That's impressive. Good job, me.
and I have
It
a
is
smart.
agonizing.
I have a smartwatch that vibrates every single message that comes through.
I'm gonna break your wrist.
Yeah, I don't. I would like literally. I'd be like, doing my job, but look up on my watch. I'm like, oh, it's just Lalo. They're gonna Pavlov me into not thinking my notifications are important, Lalo. It's already happening. That's the problem.
Oh, speaking of Pavlov, I have a joke. I have a joke.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. So Pavlov's dog,
Okay.
Schrodinger's cat, and Chekhov's gun walk into a bar.
Oh,
Right?
awesome. So he's good. Okay.
The bartender rings a bell. Pavlov's dog orders a beer. Then ask Chekhov's Schrodinger's cat, "Are you gonna get anything?" Which she looks over at the cat, and the cat is dead. So we look. The bartender looks at the bartender looks over, and Chekhov's gun is like, "What? Did you forget I was here?"
That's funny.
Oh God, Lalo.
That's pretty good, actually.
Thank you.
Please just shoot me
With that
now.
being said,
Shoot me with
with that being
Pavlov's
said,
gun.
Chekhov's
Pavlov's
gun.
gun.
Fuck
No,
you.
no, no,
Pavlov's gun
no.
and Chekhov's
No,
dog.
yeah, no. Just shoot me with Pavlov's gun.
With Chekhov's
Pavlov's
gun,
cat.
but okay.
Chekhov's
Okay.
cat.
All right, Lalo.
With that joke, with that stupid joke being said, let's talk about my book, my progress in the 5 months,
Lalo,
my
what
five
books have you
storylines a
read?
month.
Which books have you been reading? How about that? Let's start there.
So, because in April I made a challenge to myself, or actually Robert kind of challenged me for
The
this.
fuck you mean I challenged?
To
I don't
read,
remember this challenging with this.
you challenged me to read 5 stories a month.
Did I win?
You did. At the beginning of the year, you're like, you should read like more. And I was like, all right, bet.
Dog, I don't
You
remember
should
last
read
year being
more.
100%. Half of my body, like when I was not, obviously don't drink and drive, kids. When I was safe in my home, I was drinking a lot. Not a lot, but like, a shot of whiskey a night.
Well,
I'll go now.
Robert challenged me to read 5 stories a month, which for the first couple of months started hitting me, and I knew I was kind of doubtful if I was going to be able to do this. But ending March into April, I actually managed to pull out a couple clutches. So ending March, I
Just
read
not
Transformers.
this again. No, God, no.
I read Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson. D-Dubs
Transformers.
was amazing on this book. Um, the story is about basically the Transformers arriving to Earth and started and ongoing their war that's been going on for millennia.
Mhm.
We meet the characters Spike with Witky, and we meet Spike with Witky and his best friend.
Any relation to Samuel Ricky?
It's actually Sam Witwicky is based on Spike.
Huh?
Sam Witwicky is based on Spike from the original Transformers cartoon of 1980s and the 1980s.
Been bamboozled.
Yeah,
all I
Sam
know-
Witwicky is based on Spike.
All I know that Bumblebee was a Gen 2 Camaro, then he became a Gen 5 Camaro.
What? You just like changed?
No, yeah.
And the,
No,
and-
yeah.
and the first
In the
Mechagodzilla-
original Transformers movie is actually so Sam Witwicky from those Transformers movies is actually Spike, the companion for the Transformers for the longest time in the cartoon.
Don't you mean the good Transformer films? I'm not even afraid to say.
The I enjoyed more the newer ones, so Rise of the Beast and
Oh, the
Bumblebee.
ones with Monkey Monk in it?
No. The new ones, the full reboot for the Transformers series. So Bumblebee, which had John Cena on it, and Haley Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld, love her every time, every day, on anything.
Every
Give me
day,
more of Haley
bro. Get that
Steinfeld.
Disney Channel
I am
for.
Got a
excited of
crush.
I am excited of seeing her kill African Americans in the
No,
Wild
no,
Wild West
no,
as a
no, no, no.
What?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa,
as
whoa,
a
whoa.
vampire.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you not
That
phrase
was
that
unhinged.
any better? Could you phrase
I am
that
excited to
any better?
see her be a vampire in the Wild West. Is that
There we
better?
go. There we go. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm keeping
dude,
the
that
other
was
cut.
crazy.
I'm keeping that other cut in, by the way.
Like
Damn
I
it!
can, I'm so excited to see her be
I
racist.
wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking.
Jesus
Um,
Christ, dude.
That's
but
wild.
That's like
that's Transformers.
wild. I'm glad I got that on camera.
That was one of
That's
the best things. That's the funniest, one of the funniest things
that's
Lalo ever said.
Transformers.
Oh,
That's
I thought
Transformers
I
for
was the
us. Okay.
racist one. Damn.
The second book I read is actually Crossover by Donny Cates.
Ooh.
Crossover actually is, imagine every comic book crossover that's ever been that's ever existed and ever been created. Imagine it comes real.
I don't know. It sounds like Chris
So
Chan. That sounds kind of real.
it becomes real and it comes to our world. What are the ramifications of the comic book world into our society, and how us as a society will react to a world with comic book characters in it? Will we take charge against them, or will we be more accepting of them? And how will this start a war between comic book people and real people?
What do you mean
So
by
it's
real
also
people?
humans, us in a real world.
I was
Real.
making a Tropic Thunder reference, damn it.
God damn it.
I'm a dude playing a dude. This guy's another dude.
Thank you. I actually love Tropic Thunder. I've never seen it in English though. Never seen it in English. Um, but yeah, this is the last book that Donny Cates wrote before his accident, and I actually met him and signed my copy of the first issue of Crossover. So this story is very touching to me, and it was very sweet to actually finish the full thing because I read the first 6 issues when they were coming out. I got Donny Cates to sign my first issue, god damn it. And then after the accident, I didn't fully got caught up. So this, as my first book of April, I read this. And him, just him, his way of paneling and his way of writing is just so good. And Jeff Shaw picking up everything that Donnie is putting down in his script. So I was very happy. That's Crossover by Donny Cates. And the second book I read in April is
Oh,
actually
goodness.
the first 2 volumes of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Shout out
Hey,
to
we
that
do one of
video
those?
that flopped. Yeah, I think that's the one that. Kind of coincidentally, Lalo started reading comic books more than when we started doing this. And then we switched to a podcast format because it's easier.
But yeah,
That's the way to do it.
hopefully I need to find the rest of this of Ultimate Spider-Man. And I've been looking. I actually going through my local like comic shops and secondhand stores. I actually found the first 2 volumes of the end of Ultimate Spider-Man's run, so I was really happy with that. Hopefully I'm still gonna be able to be building my collection. And this week, I will be reading If This Be My Destiny
Ooh.
and in the final chapter by Tiditko and Stanley.
Hey, Holly, want to tell us the context behind behind how you found that one?
Can we not talk about that context? Thank you so
It's
much.
important, though. It's for the plot.
Is there something exciting?
I went.
He crashed and burned with a lady, found that comic book. He said, "It's destiny," and he bought it. Boom.
Yeah, I crashed and burned and bought this comic book.
But
But
Hey, you know,
this actually
Let me do
has
it.
the introduction of the. I'll cover this book in Started Issues. This is actually a book that I want to cover on Started Issues. So you will be hearing about this story eventually and how green was my goblin.
huh?
All leading into
Pardon me.
this actually.
I was like,
So
what?
this collection has If This Be My Destiny and Final Chapter, which are two of the most important issues of classic Steve Ditko era of Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, that I don't care
And-
about. No, I'm talking about the how green is my goblin thing.
How green is my goblin is the story is the biggest story with the Green Goblin
Is
up
that-
until
is-
the night when Stacy died.
Is that the story title?
That is the story title. How green was my goblin?
My goblin.
It's actually the story title.
Sounds like
Here
the
it
name
is.
of a video that.
I'll be fucking damned. Yeah, no, that is the title.
That is the title. You think I'm lying to you, Robert?
Hello,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
The amount of brain what my brain in just in a day.
That is literally the title of the story. How
we
green was
believe
my
it.
goblin?
We saw it. We all saw it.
It
That's
was backwards.
impossible.
I wanted to flip. I wanted to be shown properly.
All right, now now do I get to talk about my spirals and rants?
Absolutely, Robert. You can go ahead and talk about what you did this week. Read or whatever.
Well,
You don't read.
what interests me, I'm a lot of a motorsports guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't watch the most recent Grand Prix yet, just because I've been busy. Work usually overlays.
That was yesterday, right?
Yes. And
Yeah, pay attention to you.
I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet because it's 2 hours and I've been busy.
I have a video that I'm supposed to play right now.
Yeah, just changes comically late like always. Yeah, this was written before the race. This was the outline we have was written during Max's win at Suzuka, which is
Oh yeah.
okay. You don't need to show him the video.
Oh yeah, copyright. You never know.
No, it wasn't even that.
There's a lady crying.
It was supposed to be funny because it'd be like, all of a sudden the Dutch national anthem, but you just screwed it, gents. But
I made it funnier by messing it up.
So I wrote this in an optimistic stance because Max, he's driving a shitbox. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
His exact.
I mean, it's almost like Checo said that already.
No, it's even worse. It's worse than the OB20. Because
I'm well aware.
See, problem is though, Checo was driving into walls.
He was saying clearly that the fucking car was shit.
He was running in. No, he wasn't saying anything. He was running into walls, Lalo. You said it yourself.
Said the car is shit.
Lalo, he was running into walls. That's not saying things. That's you crashing. You, as a race car, should not crash your car. Am I wrong, Lalo? Am I wrong?
No.
Guess you could be. You're not.
Now I'm not going to offend Lawson. Lawson's obviously, it's such because he's only been 11 Grand Prix. I can't. He's literally, he's a kid, right? He's a new guy to F1.
Unfortunately, he got fucking canned.
If it was a better season for Red Bull, he probably would have stayed longer. But it's not. Max's statement after the Grand Prix of this week of Bahrain, where he finished P6 and is almost finished being. He got out qualified by a midfield team, right? Out qualified by a midfield team, and
P6.
P6.
They gotta switch that fucking car.
Oh, all right. So and he almost lost. He almost got out positioned by the same midfield goal. Max's exact statements was after this race, here at Bahrain, you can really see how bad our problems are on these kinds of circuits. It's really bad. We are running behind.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
running P6 when you should be running. You should be
closer to the
winning.
front, closer to the front, yeah,
Actively
at least.
winning.
Well, and then another problem is that the pit stop for Red Bull. I didn't watch the race, but I've seen clips. That pit stop, they need to turn around that team, and they need to turn it on quick. This team went from the most dominant F1 team in F1 history. 19 of the 23 races was won by one guy. 21 of the 22 races, actually, might have 22. 21 of 22 races was won by that team in 2023. That is
That's wild.
phenomenal job. Max Verstappen.
Between Max and Checo, right?
19 was Max, 2 was Checo.
Yeah.
Your guy kind of had a good start and then it kind of fell off.
Yeah.
The car was shit.
No, the car wasn't shit, Lalo. It's just that Max routed
That is
him.
my excuse.
Max routed him enough to where he kind of just couldn't have confidence and kept on crashing the car.
No. That's annoying.
Well, yeah, no, but it sucks being a Red Bull fan now. It feels like I'm being a Ferrari fan. Bad strategy, bad calls. The drivers are
And
decent.
Hamilton is at Ferrari, right?
Yes.
And he's seeing the repercussions of him, of
I honestly, you know what? I know I'm going to get some hate for this. I don't think Hamilton is in his 40s. He just doesn't have it anymore. He's like Doc Hudson. Lalo, stop tapping around on your phone.
sorry.
But like the big thing is that he's seen multiple errors of F1 come and go. He's seen multiple regulation changes. I don't think he has it in him. I think 2021 was his last great shot at beating, Schumacher's World Drivers' Championship record. I just don't see it anymore. I know that's going to be a hot take, but, such is life, right? Age catches up to all of us. Look at Lalo. Nothing about that one, Lalo?
Hey, what? I'm sorry. I was answering a text message. I'm sorry.
Life got to him too hard. His brains left the chat.
Yeah.
I was answering a message.
He just proved my point. I was saying that age catches up to us all. I said, right, Lalo?
And then
I
Lalo
was
like
answering a message.
Lalo
I
like
was
a senile
answering a
old
text
man.
message.
No, you're just going senile, bro. You're
I am going to see now.
You're putting a Joe Biden.
Soda.
And then honestly, but that's my big things. I honestly, it's painful to watch, seeing such a dominant team. It was so enjoyable watching these guys dominate.
Can
F1.
you report back on me with Hamilton, how Hamilton's doing over there or at Ferrari?
He's
Because
not
I know the managing sucks. I know the managing over at Ferrari fucking sucks. That's the one thing I kept hearing about last season.
Mind you,
The managing just fucking sucks.
he doesn't watch F1. That makes all of this so much funnier. But it's so notorious that he knows how bad Ferrari is with those strategies.
I know, no. I know that how's Leclerc?
See, the big problem is because honestly, Leclerc is outperforming Hamilton.
Yeah, obviously.
I know obviously some of it, it's, him being accustomed to, he's been with Mercedes for 12 years. He's getting used to a new team. But also, another part of it is just that he's in his 40s. It's very hard to be a World Drivers' Champion. He's like 26, 27.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So he's it's like that scene in Cars 3.
Yes, Lalo.
That scene in Cars 3 where he's like McQueen is going against the thunderclap. I don't know what it's
Jackson
called.
Jackson Storm.
Yeah, Jackson Storm.
But as
your days are over, McQueen.
Objectively speaking, looking at the statistics, Hamilton is the greatest of all time. But
yeah, Hamilton's really good. That's something I know for a fact.
2021 was his probably last shot before his age and regulation change caught up to him, and all of that kind of clashed into, because this regulation cycle does not really suit Hamilton's driving style. It's a lot more aerodynamic focus, so you have to more downforce, which then affects all your braking. Hamilton was always kind of more of a bombastic tonal. He was a clean racer, but he was a lot more very set in his race. He doesn't really adjust very well to new regulation cycles very easily, and especially with this one being more aerodynamic focused, it doesn't suit his style of driving. Mix that with a Ferrari that is obviously going to be geared to someone who you know is going to perform week after week with Leclerc. Even if you have a 7-time world driver champion on your team, you're going to suit with the guy you know how to drive, and Leclerc knows how to drive the car better than Hamilton. Now, I'm not saying that Hamilton's down and out. Maybe in 2026, once the regulations change again, we might have a lot more of an interesting playing field. But as of right now,
and Checo comes back.
Probably driving a Cadillac.
I know.
And which also, by the way, it's awesome to see some American representation on the grid. USA, USA, USA.
Yeah, they took my Mexican though. They took my Mexican away. He's gone.
But yeah, Hamilton is not. Everyone was thinking that he was going to hit the ground running, which objectively, looking at how 2024 ended with how dominant, honestly, how powerful that Ferrari SF24 was, he was
in Mercedes, right?
Yeah, he was in Mercedes, but the SF24 was a really good call. It was up to the final race for the Constructors' Championship. So everyone was thinking, okay, Ferrari's actually getting back on track. 2025 might be an actual year that they might actually fight for the titles. Turns out to McLaren Fest again.
Damn it.
And Max driving his shitbox to places that it shouldn't be.
They need to get. And is it too late to get a new car?
Yes,
to modify this car.
Technically, there's a cost cap, so there's going to be a lot more to play. You just can't throw money at it anymore, like old school F1. But Red Bull is increasingly concerned about Max Verstappen leaving. They'll have
he keeps losing like this. He's gonna leave.
Yeah, he's not there to take a fourth place. He's a champion. He has the champion mentality. He's going to go with a champion's hat, and it might be at Mercedes because honestly, Mercedes is a power supply unit.
If he leaves, are you gonna join him? Are you gonna abandon Red Bull?
Yes, the reason why I like the Red Bull team is because of how aggressive Max is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
I thought you would have a no. I was also hoping you wouldn't give me a no. You would give me a no answer.
Why?
And also, they took like I don't know. They took away 2 of his teammates, right?
Yeah, they swapped out 2 of his teammates. First it was gonna be Checo into
Because it was Checo. Who was before Checo?
Oh,
or was Checo with him? Was Checo with him for a while?
Checo was with him since 2021, so 2021 to 2024, so 3 years. Before that,
they were friends, so they were teammates for a while.
Before that was Alex Albon for like a season and a half, and then before Alex Albon, it was Pierre Gasly, and then before Pierre Gasly, I do believe it was Daniel Ricciardo. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah, no.
Someone's gonna comment. Someone's gonna let you know in the comments down
Lalo,
there.
in order for someone to let us know in the comments, they have to watch the videos, and that's not something we do.
I want the people to comment in it because then they'll watch the video. Exactly.
On this segment, I have to call Robert justifies his AMC A-list subscription.
So what movie did we watch?
We watched a very really interesting film. It's called Warfare. A lot of people, you probably saw a lot of ads for it. It's being really pushed heavily. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's
A24. It is A24 really pushing their agenda because it's really. Let me see. Let me tell you this.
It's not an agenda. It's a story that needs to be told.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it was better than the Minecraft movie, Gendroidans. I will argue this is something that I saw We Live in Time earlier this year. This is probably my second favorite A24 film.
This is by far my favorite. Actually, I don't know. Michelle with
the shell with the shoes on was really good.
That was a good one. I think Warfare beats it though, hands down. Because
Yeah.
there's certain section of the internet thinks that this is a typical war film. That's
No, it's not.
that encourages the industrial war complex. Well, there are a couple scenes where the flyby shows a force. That made me go
Well,
USA.
that was kind of the point.
USA. Yeah, that was literally.
I remember I had literally a chant of USA on the the left of me while watching that movie.
Because I was sitting there, Lalo. I'm upset with the fact that because we have to see it on like an IMAX adjacent IMAX.
Yeah,
screen.
It was a very special showing, and I got there like 5 minutes before the movie started. There were no. Normally we can compensate for the movie starting with the
trailers,
reviews and everything and trailers. There were no trailers for this one. I got there at 7:00. The movie started at 7:00. I got in the theater at 7:00, and it was already on. It was already screening. I was like, "Fuck!"
Imagine how I felt.
Yeah, I was in the edge of my seat, not because the movie was happening. The movie was obviously having me on the edge of my seat, but also because I wanted Robert to get there before the action started.
Which I really did, though. I came at the right.
You did.
I came at the right time. Because
so the plot of the movie.
Shut up. Let me tell my story, okay? I bought 7:00 tickets because it was the best showing they got. Because I want to see it on the biggest screen possible with the best sound possible.
Yeah.
Because it
paid off.
It's a very sound design heavy film. So I'm thinking, okay, 7 minutes. It takes me 15 minutes from work to get to the theater. I'm like, okay, I'll have some time with trailers and all that. Spoiler alert, no.
No, that did not happen.
No.
Unfortunately.
But fortunately enough, I did miss the call on me scene. I missed that. That was upsetting.
Okay.
But Lalo wants to tell the plot synopsis, so you can.
So the plot of the movie, the synopsis is basically it's a squad on the Iraq War in 2003, 2004.
I think I was watching.
Year isn't specified.
I actually was watching. It's a operator. The guy who was there was 2006. It was.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That exact issue, that event happened in 2006.
So. We have a full squadron of I think 6 or 7 soldiers
of Navy SEALs. Don't forget that part.
Yeah, Navy SEAls for the U.S. Army.
Navy. It's literally in the name.
Yeah, 7 or 8 Navy SEAls on a very specific recon mission. Gather all the info they can, but don't engage. That was the main priority of the mission.
Boy, do they
until it goes awry. Until it goes awry, and then the mission changes. It no longer is a recon mission. The mission is survive, get out of there,
get everyone home.
Yeah,
also,
that's pretty much the plot of the movie.
What I really appreciate, it has a stat cast. It has a big cast. It has Will Portal, Michael Gandolfini,
Kit Connor, and Joseph Quinn are also in the movie. Yeah.
Also, Joseph Quinn gives one hell of a performance. I think
Joseph Quinn is probably the most the most gruesome performance I've seen this year, and it makes me really excited about his performance in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on his performance because again, the only thing I've seen him in was the Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
And I'm like,
Stranger Things.
I don't know how I feel about him being Johnny Storm. But after seeing this, I'm a little bit more sold on it. I'm not gonna lie.
And Kit Connor is always. It's great to see him every time I see him. He's a gorgeous man.
But the big thing is they don't Hollywood anything. They're not they're not beautified. They're all covered in dirt, makeup, outfits, makeup.
They look like shit all throughout the movie. Especially after it all goes awry, it looks dirty and grimy. It's not very polished Hollywood movies.
And then halfway through,
watching the Transformers films.
Then about 3/4 of the way through, Real Portal just kind of disappears, which is kind of a bold choice because he's the big name.
Yeah, He is the biggest name in that movie, considering that he played Adam Warlock a couple of years ago,
Born
and
again.
he was oh, God damn it, he was also
Oh no,
in
my bad.
Death of a Unicorn a couple of.
That was. Yeah, I was going to say that's the wrong film. That's Death of a Unicorn. We need to
He was
talk
Death
about
of a
that film.
He was in Death of a Unicorn a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's that. If it doesn't get nominated for sound design, I don't know what
I
they
would
can.
be very upset.
Because that sound
If
design.
this movie deserves some awards. I wouldn't go for best movie because a lot of good movies that I'm looking forward haven't come out yet.
See, I
But
would.
this was so far is March. What we've been watching movies for like a month now, Robert.
We started with no, Captain America.
Yeah, we saw that was in February 14, 7, maybe 17.
17th, yeah. Let me I'm putting on my AMC right now.
Because I watched it. I actually watched Captain America with my mom first, and then I saw it with you.
Past due. Let's see who. We started February 27th. We went to see
Captain America.
Captain America, Mickey 17, Novocaine, another great film.
Another great film though.
Death of a Unicorn, a great film I saw off of one Instagram trailer. A Minecraft movie just for the meme, and then Warfield.
Yeah, but out of that, Captain America, Death of a Unicorn, Mickey 17,
5 films.
5 films. I will say that Warfare was the best of them. So far.
I think it's gonna be hard to beat Lalo. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's gonna be very hard to beat for a while. It's probably gonna stay on the top for a while, up until like probably what comes out later this year.
I don't know, buddy.
Fantastic Four might beat it.
No.
And I'm very. It's a very
Really?
hard maybe, considering how much I'm excited for Fantastic Four.
Also,
Superman might beat it.
I'm also talking about the fact that I dragged you to this film, and you weren't like, "Hey, let's go see this film." I dragged you to it, 100%. Just dragged you to it.
Yeah, I was. That's the thing. I'm not a very big fan of war. Guns make me upset. I have some history with gun. I have a history with gun violence, so I wasn't very excited about watching this movie, and I'm also very.
Dude was bouncing around like a pinball.
I get very nervous on specific like things. Like Oppenheimer really stressed me the fuck out, so I knew this was gonna be a very stressful movie, and I am really excited for it to come out on Blu-ray or physical, so I can actually watch it over again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward because I missed a third of the film. So
This is one of those films that I want to rewatch. At home.
See, my big thing is I don't think it's one of those films that's so gruesome and like so stressful that you don't want to watch it that much. Like it's not a war film in the sense of blood and guts everywhere. The cheering the troops.
This is not your typical This is not your typical Call of Duty mission.
No, this is like.
This is how it was pitched to me by Robert.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You pitched it to me. You pitched it to me as watching. You're watching a Call of Duty movie.
No, that was you that said that.
Hyper realistic Call of Duty movie.
I said, hey, we're seeing this film. I want to go see it. And you said, bet. And then you said, oh, I said, okay. Yeah. Bought the tickets.
I can imagine all of that.
But I wanted to watch it because Hollywood doesn't make any war films anymore. And
it's been a while.
Oh, it's been like 2017 since Hacksaw Ridge came out.
Wasn't there one from Christopher Nolan? Wasn't that
Dunkirk? And that was Dunkirk, yeah.
Yeah.
Dunkirk and 1917.
1917. That's probably the last war film that was like on a big scale release.
Wasn't there Pearl Harbor? It's Midway, wasn't it? Midway.
Midway. Pearl Harbor 2001.
No, Midway. Midway was I wouldn't say it's a B chill film, but it was a B chill film. It had like Joe Jonas, Woody Harrelson. It was a good film, but it wasn't necessarily like a film.
The Jonas Brothers were B tier, but okay.
But it wasn't. Lalo's. It was good.
Hacksaw Ridge was amazing, and I love this movie so much.
Okay, focusing back.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Warfield is one of those films where it's like, obviously there's a quote. I don't know who it's attributed to, but any soldier should be inherently anti-rule. I'm not not attacking the soldiers themselves because
No,
that's how
I mean the
the,
thing about war is that it is only
no one wins at the end.
uh,
No one wins at the end. There's always the loss of life.
there's no victory. There's never victory to the claim of loss of life, which
And
is very depressing. And I think it's very uplifting to see a movie where the main goal isn't to kill your enemy, but to make sure that they come back home,
what I enjoy
which
about
is something
what,
very powerful.
what I enjoyed about the film, it wasn't a dramatization. It was Leto pretty much essentially to one of his battle buddies.
Yeah,
He doesn't recall anything that happened. Probably because trauma blocked it out.
type shit. Do be
It
like
was
that.
it was nice to see a film that wasn't over the top, USA war machine propaganda. That's coming from someone who's like really like patriotic, as you can ask Lalo. It was nice to see a film that antagonizes war itself. It's not
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
they're not saying just do
And
kill.
you see soldiers doing things that they shouldn't do. Like there was this very specific scene where I was concerned of the repercussions of that decision. Fortunately, we did not get to see the repercussions, or we didn't. If there were any, we didn't see them, and hopefully nothing happened out of it. But
Mhm.
there was a scene where a soldier was pretending to be a higher officer in order to get the equipment to pull out.
To get the Bradleys to Casavac.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which I was hoping there wouldn't be any repercussions, but in my head I'm still stressed. I was watching it at the moment. I was stressed about that factor happening.
What one scene that really stood out to me that I actually I actually still kind of carry with is the scene directly after they step on the IED and all the comms are going off. The
And it's the blank noise, the white noise machine going on like, and they're pulling everyone back into the house. Yeah,
and
it was very.
then what I don't know I don't know any of the characters' names. The pretty much the guy who's kind of the vehicle for the view kind of is like getting overwhelmed with all these guys going on the radio saying, "Hey, this," and it does just a good job because even when I was watching it, I got disoriented what was going on, and I wasn't like,
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that level of like detailed and like.
It also really called back to my years in high school theater, because every time
God,
it was a joke that was going on. This is a joke that I explained Robert later. Every time they would call out the time, because something that there's also worth noting about this movie is
It's in no
it's
time.
1 hour and 34 minutes. It's 1 hour and 35 minutes worth of roll of tape, and it is almost every second is accounted for. It is a mission that was 1 hour and 35 minutes, and every second of the mission is accounted for.
I think the only part
crazy,
that
actually. Yeah.
There is no time jump, there is no time skips, there is no fast forwarding time.
Wait,
What
No,
is
it's kind of
going
like-
on in the mission, it is exactly happening as it
even the intro.
happened back then.
Even
Up
I was
up
gonna
to like
say.
the 5-10 minutes of the intro, because
So it's
we
like-
do have a time skip of like a couple of hours after the intro of them being on the bunker and then going into the base and into this takeout station, and there is some time, but like after that, after
Once
the whole stakeout mission,
once they get to the reconnaissance mission, that's when everything
once
counts.
the action starts, it's all like a second that's happened on screen is 1 second that's happening in their life,
Well, according to
which
the
is very
marketing.
stressful. But
So it's kind of
back to my joke that I was going to. Whenever they call off time, I would legitimately go in the theater. Thank you 5. Thank you 10. Going back to my theater years of when time was being called out and you're on a
Yeah,
break or
55.
something, you have to yell thank you 5, thank you 10.
Jen's is getting,
So
Yeah.
that was a
getting
funny.
flashbacks.
That's the
getting
funny experience
flashback.
that I got out of that movie, but it wasn't.
So
It was just a little thing I wanted to mention.
Also, it has improved all those callouts while playing Warzone.
It did. It made me. This movie made me stupidly better, which we will talk about that later.
Actually, that actually transitions perfectly into our last segment. We're actually about any games we've been playing.
We've been playing Call of Duty Warzone a lot lately.
Because
Robert and I.
Verdansk is back, baby. The nostalgia bonus hold for me. Even the battle
yeah.
pass is nothing but like nostalgia for me. It's nice.
Oh
I
yeah,
missed
I
it.
didn't take a look at it, but I've been playing again with Spawn, which is fun.
It brought me back to Call of Duty. We haven't been playing
Oh,
Call of Duty in how long though? Since MW2
Uh,
essentially.
Since MW3 actually, a
Oh,
little bit
no,
of MW3.
Nah, I'm not counting that. We played for like maybe 5 hours.
Maybe one session or two, 5 hours. Yeah.
MW2 was the last
But,
game we consistently played, but
Yeah, I have it logged. I have it pulled up in front of me. I have 181 hours of Call of Duty logged
Nice.
into my
Baby
PS5.
numbers. No, I'm kidding.
that is rookie numbers.
181 hours.
You
Yeah.
don't want to know how many
But
hours I put in Call of Duty.
How many hours do you have in Call of Duty?
I don't even know.
No,
That's that much.
I want to know.
Yeah,
Let me know.
that's
I wanna
purely
see.
out of MW2. That's purely out of MW2 though.
But yeah, so
Ah.
we've been playing a lot of Warzone because of Dance, because it's the goat of the Warzone maps, hands down. And the Minecraft brain rot had gone to us. I got
Yeah.
Minecraft realm.
And I bit the bullet and bought the Doctor Who Magic the Gathering Commander deck for the 10th, 9th, and 11th Doctor.
Oh yeah,
So
bro.
I've been learning to play, and I've also bought another commander deck, started commander deck for my little brother, so we
So do
could
you
like
just-
learn how to.
Oh, you play with your family. I was like, who do you play Magic with over there? But
With my brother, I'm playing with my brother.
that's a vibe. Brother bonding.
But I will challenge you to when we go to Utah in September.
They don't pay me
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to play Magic the Gathering. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. I will challenge Jens though, because I want to see. I want to teach him how to play, and I want to see if he can beat me with.
I have
my-
actually played before. Fun
Oh.
fact.
You have actually played?
Oh,
Okay, bet. Oh, it's on now.
Because you're actually
I
facing
actually, bro, I beat a guy who was a seasoned veteran because he gave me his deck back. It
okay.
duplicates artifacts that would give me extra mana over
Extra
again.
mana?
So
Oh my
I
god.
got, bro, no joke. In a normal gameplay, I was getting 128 mana per turn.
Jens. My
That is
God.
okay. For little to know for those who don't know about Magic the Gathering, you can get up to like depending on my deck, I have a deck of 26 mana that you can get up to. So basically, depending on, I could get up to like 30 or 40 mana on my deck as it stands right now if I don't want to modify it or at all. And I might not modify because it's the Doctor Who said so. I was actually thinking of this Friday of buying another deck, another commander deck for the 12 and 13 Doctors. So I can have all of New Who Doctors
So you're gonna have
in my deck.
all of Gallifrey in your deck. Got it.
No, actually,
I already Gallifrey.
there's also a deck for the original Doctors, and there is a deck for the villains of Doctor Who. So I kind of want Daleks as well. I want some
Oh, yeah.
Daleks in my life.
Heck yeah, bro! You gotta exterminate you gotta exterminate the other commander.
I gotta
You would have said something
exterminate.
different there, didn't you, Jens? I would have had blackmail on two of you guys.
No,
I will be
no.
buying all three decks of all three commander decks that are remaining for me. Maybe not the 12, the 4, and maybe not the 1 through 8
Do it.
because I don't care that much about class. I don't care about classic Doctor Who. I'm sorry,
Do it.
but I might buy them. I am tempted to buy them as well.
You just gotta become a millionaire, Lalo.
Oh,
Guys,
They're not that expensive actually.
You just gotta
I
roll,
think-
roll, roll.
I think 12 and 13. So the powers of the Doctor said it's $33. The villains is 40, and the 1 through 8 is actually like $28.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not that much.
Alright,
So
guys. We're gonna start,
The most expensive one was the one I got.
I hate to jump in here, but we've been doing this for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We've had a fun time talking. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm Robert.
I'm Lalo.
And I am Jens.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And have a good
And
rest
leave a
of your day.
comment on what you want to hear us talk about.
Comment down below.
Comment down below. And have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.
God
Bye
bless.
bye.